18th one, which of the following branches are the anterior divisions of the iliac artery? Okay, they're asking anterior division of iliac artery. First of all, the iliac artery has a two divisions. That is, one is anterior, another one is posterior. Okay, almost all the arteries arise from the anterior only, but only three arteries comes from posterior division. So if you know posterior division, then it will be easy for you. One is superior gluteal arteries from the posterior, and iliolumbar and lateral sacral is from the posterior division. Everything else is anterior division. So first option is not a anterior division. Inferior gluteal artery is a branch of anterior division. Superior vesical artery is a branch of anterior division. Middle rectal is also anterior division. Inferior vesical anterior division. Vaginal artery is a anterior division. So except one. So A and D is gone, and remaining everything anterior division of the internal iliac artery only. Let me show the diagram. See, this is the common iliac artery. Next, it divides into the internal iliac artery and external iliac artery. And internal iliac artery, they have asked in the question, internal iliac artery divides into the anterior division and posterior division. This is the posterior division. Anterior division gives to the many branches, that is umbilical artery, that next obturator artery, superior vesicular artery, okay, this one, inferior gluteal artery, here inferior gluteal artery, middle rectal artery, vaginal artery, uterine artery, inferior vesicular artery or vaginal artery in females, okay, internal pudendal artery. I think almost all arteries I have told. Okay, obturator artery, superior vesicle, inferior gluteal. But superior gluteal will come in the posterior division. Whereas vaginal artery, middle rectal artery, uterine artery, and internal pudendal artery. But here lumbar will come in the posterior, isn't it? So the artery is also posterior division. Sacral also comes posterior, right? See, lumbar and sacral, coccyx, everything comes posterior. So iliolumbar is posterior division, lateral sacral is a posterior division, but superior gluteal you have to remember, superior gluteal is a posterior division, whereas inferior gluteal is the anterior division. Okay, so only superior gluteal is not an option for the anterior division. 19th one, a patient after a road traffic accident presents to the emergency room with difficulty in swallowing and slurred speech. Investigation reveals fracture of the occipitotemporal region. Which of the following areas should be tested in the order to find the nerve which is involved? Okay, the slurred speech and swallowing all are features of 9th and 10th cranial nerve, that is vagus and the glossopharyngeal. Which part you have to test for to see the defect? That is the ula you have to test, that is marked 2 here. 9 and 10th cranial nerve examined by testing the ula position you have to see. Okay, next coming to the 20th one, from 2021, 22, 23, all are repeated questions, so I have put it in the last. The patient came with the complaints of inability to move his fourth and fifth digit, cannot hold pen and he was not able to hold paper in between the fingers, which of the following sites given below is probable cause of injury to the nerve in this question? So when they have asked fourth and fifth finger and there is a he can't hold a paper in between means he can't adduct. That means pad palmar interrogation is also defective. So these are because of the ulnar nerve injury. So where might be the nerve? The most common site of ulnar nerve getting injured is there is in this bone, that is the medial epicondyle. This is the neck. So this side is the medial side. So answer B. B gets injured more. If medial epicondyle gets injured, the ulnar nerve is more common to get injured. This is the radial groove. It is for the radial nerve, whereas neck is for the axillary nerve. Okay. If lateral epicondyle gets injured, then there will be the stretching of the ulnar nerve. So again he will get a tardy ulnar nerve palsy. Okay. 21st one. Which of the following structure does the cell pointed in the arrow inhibit? They have marked Purkinje cells. Okay, this is the very important question they have asked many times. This Purkinje fibers will inhibit, they are very long, they will inhibit deep nuclei of the cerebellum. Okay. Which of the following structure of the scapula is palpable in the infraclavicular fossa? That is the coracoid process. This is the coracoid process. This is the acromion process. And this is the superior border, superior angle, medial border. And this is the subscapular fossa. This is an inferior angle, lateral border. This is the neck of the scapula. This is the inferior tubercle. This is glenoid fossa. Here coracoid process gets palpated when you palpate through the infraclavicular fossa. This is also a repeated question. 23rd one. Identify the pelvic diaphragm in the given picture. Here this is the pelvic diaphragm, that is B, and this is the urogenital diaphragm. You can see here this is the pelvic diaphragm and this is the deep space, whereas this is the superficial face. This is the urogenital diaphragm. Okay. You can see these questions in the 2017 paper also. I have added this just to make you understand that the questions will repeat. It's very, very important to read at least 5-year papers. But if you are reading 7-year papers, it will be very, very useful.